In the last part, we saw how Maru told everything about how they met. Listening to him, Suzy came outside and asked whether he was trying to say that it was her. Maru replied that they didn't have much time, he would respond in the car. Then, taking another route, Maru quickly took Suzy away from there. While in the car, he told her that she was right. All the things he had said were indeed about her. Meanwhile, Yuna was in a board members meeting, talking about removing Suzy from the director's position. She says that she found Suzy and spoke to her. Suzy herself told her that she no longer wanted to get involved in the complications of business and just wanted to live a normal life. Yuna successfully convinces the board members to remove Suzy from the director's position. Meanwhile, Maru brings Suzy to his home, and they both begin packing their things because they are shifting to a new place. Maru now decides that he will return everything to Suzy that rightfully belongs to her. The next day, a press conference is held at the company to announce that Yuna will now be the new director. Una is on stage giving her speech when suddenly Suzy arrives. Seeing her there completely shocks Yuna. Since there are many people present, Yuna doesn't know how to react. She quickly goes to Suzy, asks how she is, and even hugs her, just to show the public how much she cares about her. Then Suzy walks onto the stage and apologizes for being away from the company for such a long time. As everyone already knew, she met with an accident about a year ago in which she was badly injured. It took her a lot of time to recover, but now her health is much better. That was why she had decided to return to the company. She was not fully recovered yet, so she mentioned that she would need someone's help until she got better. She said Kang Maru, who was her fiancé, would be helping her until she completely recovered. Yuna was shocked to see him here. Meanwhile, everything Suzy said was something she had rehearsed because Maru had trained her repeatedly before that moment. Later, while she was in her office, Maru asked her if things were difficult, to which Suzy replied they were. Maru hugged her and told her she did a great job. Suzy then asked him whether the woman named Yuna was really her stepmother and why she wanted to fight. Maru said it was because Yuna wanted everything that never belonged to her. Suzy admitted she still wasn't completely okay and asked what would happen if Yuna found out about her health condition. Maru reassured her not to worry and said he would be the one to fight that battle. She only needed to stand behind him. They ran into Yuna, who told Suzy she was just about to call her. She asked whether Suzy wasn't coming home, then suggested they could go together. Maru replied that Suzy would stay with him. Yuna accepted it, but insisted they should at least have dinner together. That evening, they both go for dinner. Yuna welcomed Suzy with a hug and thanked her for coming. Suzy asked where her father's room was, which surprised Yuna, who couldn't understand why she would ask that. Before the situation could worsen, Maru jumped in and managed the situation, saying the room was still where it always had been. Suzy then walked toward the room on her own while Maru and Yuna began talking. Yuna asked why Maru came back. She reminded him that he once told her that he wouldn't care about anything she did, so she wanted to know why he was involved now. Maru then admitted he didn't even know who she was. He couldn't remember what they shared in the past, and whatever it was didn't even seem worth remembering. What occupied his mind now was driving him crazy. He couldn't eat or sleep without it. It wasn't Yuna, it was Suzy. He said he came back for Suzy. Her stepmother wanted to get rid of her, and he was there to protect her. Yuna asked him if he really thought she wanted to eliminate Suzy. Maru said he didn't know what to think, but he only came to give Suzy back everything that was rightfully hers. He asked Yuna why she couldn't just walk away and let everything go. Yuna responded that she wouldn't back off because everything there was hers. Maru didn't feel like staying for dinner and took Suzy back home. Later that night, Maru worked late, which gave him a severe headache. He took medicine and felt slightly better. Meanwhile, Suzy was with her secretary at the doctor's office. The doctor told her not to run away from her memories and instead to try remembering them. Suzy asked what he meant. The doctor explained that it seemed like she didn't even want to remember those memories, probably because something very painful had happened in her life. The next day, Maru took Suzy on a trip and they visited many places together and had a lot of fun. They spent the whole day together, and when they returned in the evening, they were very happy. They were holding hands when a car passed by and its headlights flashed into Suzy's eyes, triggering a quick flashback of her accident. The next day Suzy was cooking, she remembered what the doctor said and tried recalling the accident. She remembered driving very fast and being upset and angry, but she couldn't remember more. Just then Maru arrived. Suzy told him that if someday he got bored of her and she still couldn't remember anything, she knew he would leave her. Maru assured her that would never happen. He knew how he felt and told her he could never get bored of her, so she should stop overthinking. Yuna didn't want Maru to stay with Suzy, so she tried to frame him in a false case. That was why Maru was being questioned at the prosecutor's office. Since there wasn't much evidence against him, he was let go. Meanwhile, Suzy wanted to learn more about herself and regain her identity, so she went back to her house. When Maru returned and didn't find Suzy at home, he got very worried. At her home, dinner was ready. Suzy and Yuna began eating, and Suzy ended up eating something she was allergic to, which surprised Yuna. Just then, Maru arrived and took Suzy back home. He told her that if she wanted to visit the home, he would come along. Suzy admitted she was afraid of remembering her memories. Maru told her not to force it if it scared her. Suzy said that although she was afraid, she wanted to bring her memories back. She wanted to know everything about Maru, how they met, how they fell in love. Hearing all that, Maru became sad because what happened with Suzy in the past wasn't good at all. The next day, Suzy was at home, trying very hard to remember the car incident. She recalled driving fast and a car coming toward her with a man inside, but she couldn't remember his face. Just then, the doorbell rang. She opened the door and saw Yuna standing outside. Suzy got nervous, unsure what to do. She called Maru and told him Yuna was outside. Maru told her not to open the door and rushed home, but Suzy didn't listen and let Yuna in. Yuna asked Suzy to come back home, but Suzy said she felt more comfortable there and wanted to stay with Maru. They talked a lot, and Yuna said some things that triggered Suzy's past memories. Overwhelmed, Suzy fainted on the spot. Yuna started trying to wake her up. Just then, Maru arrived and seemed deeply shocked after seeing Suzy unconscious. So he quickly took her to the hospital. The hospital staff treated Suzy, and eventually she became stable. Meanwhile, Yuna sat at home drinking and wondered what actually happened to Suzy so suddenly. At that moment, the manager came in and informed her that he received information saying Suzy was going through a memory loss problem. On hearing this, Yuna appeared stunned. Everything started making sense to her. Why Suzy behaved so strangely lately? The manager explained that if the news turned out to be true, they would announce it in the media, which would benefit Yuna. Later, when Suzy regained consciousness, she found Maru sleeping beside her. When Maru woke up and didn't find Suzy in bed, he looked panicked and searched for her everywhere. As he stepped outside the hospital, he saw her lying asleep on a bench. He rushed to her, woke her up, and scolded her for sleeping out there. He asked her to come inside. Suzy asked him who he was. This made Maru freeze in shock, unable to understand why Suzy acted this way. Then Suzy started walking away on her own, and Maru followed her. He approached her and asked why she was behaving like this. Suzy turned to him and asked why he kept following her and told him to stop. Maru told her to stop joking, that it was enough, but Suzy didn't listen and kept walking away. Maru called Suzy's secretary and informed her about Suzy's behavior. The doctor suspected that Suzy probably remembered a few memories that caused her confusion, so she forgot everything again. But he said there was no need to worry, she would recover soon. Meanwhile, Suzy kept walking on the street, not knowing where to go. Maru couldn't leave her alone, so he continued following her. As Suzy went across the road, a car almost hit her, but Maru rushed in and saved her. Suzy asked him if he knew her. Maru replied that he did. He brought her back home and showed her a photo they clicked in Japan. But Suzy didn't believe it. She told him it was all fake and started smashing things. Maru tried to calm her down, but she became more disturbed and fainted again. Maru sat through the night holding her in his arms. Yuna came to meet Suzy the next day, but Maru reminded her that he told her not to come. So why did she? Yuna replied that she was Suzy's mother and had the right to meet her, so she must be allowed in. Maru asked what exactly she told Suzy that made her faint. Yuna said she only told her about him. That wasn't new. She claimed she had no idea what could have been so shocking. Maru warned her not to trouble Suzy again, otherwise he wouldn't spare her. Yuna told him that what he felt wasn't love, it was guilt. According to her, everything he was doing came from guilt for what Suzy went through because of him. She insisted that love was what he gave to her in the past. When she loved him, she realized how important he was to her. She felt deep regret. When Maru returned as Suzy's fiancé, she never expected it. She didn't know why he came back into her life, but seeing him again made her happy. After saying this, she left. This time, everything Yuna said came from her heart. She truly regretted how she treated Maru. Then the manager called her and informed her that he confirmed Suzy really lost her memory, so she must quickly announce it in the media. Deep down, Yuna still felt something for Meru, but the greed she carried all these years didn't let her stop. She became happy, thinking that soon everything would be hers. Meanwhile, Suzy sat in her room and Maru brought juice for her since she hadn't eaten anything since the day before. But Suzy refused to drink it and threw the glass away. Maru returned with more juice and she threw it again. This went on repeatedly. Maru brought it again and again, and each time Suzy threw it away. In doing so, Suzy got a small cut on her hand. Maru started applying medicine to her hand. He told her that though she was angry, breaking things, and yelling at him, he was happy that at least she was reacting. He said he knew her heart was full of pain and he wanted her to cry her heart out and feel lighter. He said it seemed difficult for her. If it was because of him or because of the memories, she shouldn't run away from them. He asked her to let the memories come out and to stop hurting herself. He asked her to take it all out on him. He promised he would only leave her once she was fully recovered, when she stood on her own. Only then would he disappear from her life. After saying this, he went to bring more juice. When he came back, he saw Suzy crying heavily. He placed the juice on the table and quietly left. Suzy cried a lot, and it made her feel lighter emotionally. The next day, Suzy woke up and came out to see Maru preparing breakfast. She spoke to him sweetly, showing that she remembered everything from the past few months. Suzy told him she slept well and even dreamt after a long time. In her dream, Maru was there, but a different version of him. That Maru betrayed her and hurt her. He was a terrible person. Maru was stunned. He asked what she would do if the old version of him returned once her memory came back. What if he really became the man from her dream? Suzy said she would never forgive him because she left her father for him. Maru laughed after hearing that. Later, Han arrived at a restaurant because Suzy called him there. She told Han that she remembered some things. She said that he once told her in that same restaurant that Maru was in a serious relationship with someone else, and that Maru met Suzy intentionally because of that girl. She asked who that man was. Han asked if she was sure he told her that. Suzy confirmed that it was indeed him who told her Maru was cheating on her, but Han denied it. He said he never said anything like that, and didn't even hear such a thing. Suzy asked if he was telling the truth. Han said people suffering from memory loss sometimes build fake memories in their minds that aren't real. Suzy wondered if that's what happened. Maybe her memories weren't real. She thought maybe she misunderstood something. After that, she went to the office. Maru asked why she came. Suzy replied that maybe working again would help her recover faster, so she came. Now Yuna wanted to tell everyone that Suzy lost her memory, but she couldn't do that directly. So she called Suzy and told her she had to meet a man today who was involved in a major company deal. Yuna asked Suzy to handle it, hoping she would make a mistake so she could use it as an excuse to remove Suzy from the company. Meru offered to accompany Suzy, but Suzy insisted on going alone, saying she couldn't rely on him forever. Suzy went alone for the business deal, and just as Yuna had expected, she made a mistake, leading to the deal being canceled. Yuna then deliberately called Suzy to scold her, making her feel even worse. Suzy blamed herself and felt ashamed for failing in such a basic task. Maru, realizing what was happening, understood that they were falling into someone else's trap. The manager suggested that since things had already gone wrong, they should reveal Suzy's memory loss at the next board meeting. Later, Suzy, clearly upset, admitted she should have listened to him and shouldn't have gone alone. She confessed she wasn't capable of handling even basic things on her own right now and felt humiliated. Maru told her not to blame herself and reassured her that she would do better next time. When her memories returned, she would handle everything independently. Suzy, a little drunk, said she wanted to remember how much Maru loved and cared for her. Maru took her back home and told her that if she continued to behave with him the way she was, he wouldn't let her go. Hearing that, Suzy was getting emotional, and afterward, both of them were returning home. Suzy was sitting in her room and was trying to recall who was involved in her accident, but she was unable to remember. Then she was searching on the internet about her accident and was finding out that the person involved was someone named Kay, but she was not getting much information. Sam was coming home and was directly going to Maru to talk. Actually, Sam was meeting Maru's doctor and was learning that there was a problem in Maru's brain, which required surgery to be fixed. If surgery was not done, then Maru could die. Sam was getting very shocked and was telling Maru to go for the surgery, otherwise he would tell both Choco and Suzy about it. Maru was trying to explain to Sam that the success chances of the surgery were very low, which was why he was not doing it now. He was saying that once he would help Suzy regain everything, then he would go for the surgery. Some days were passing like that. Yuna was getting busy planning her move to take over the company. To ruin her plan, Suzy and Maru were announcing through the media that they were going to get married soon. Hearing this, Yuna was becoming very tense because if they got married and people came to know that Suzy lost her memory, then the company would go to Maru since he would be her husband. Suzy was really happy because she actually wanted to marry Maru. Suzy was asking Han who the man in the accident was and where he was now. Han was not telling her the truth. He was saying the man was not seriously injured and was recovering quickly and had moved to America with his family. But Suzy was still wanting to know about him, so she was requesting the hospital for the accident report. She found out that it was Maru. At that moment, she also recalled Maru's face and was getting scared. Just then, Maru was coming and was telling her that they needed to go to the board members' meeting. Suzy was pretending that she wasn't recalling anything about the accident and was acting completely normal. While going for the meeting, Suzy was starting to recall more things, like why Maru had approached her intentionally and how he was betraying her using the news. Then, during the board meeting, Suzy was standing and was revealing to everyone that she had lost her memory. She was saying that everyone already knew how much she had done for the company, and because of her, the company never faced a loss. That was why she wanted them to give her one chance. She was promising she wouldn't disappoint anyone. If the company ever suffered because of her, she would leave her director position. Saying this, she ended the meeting. Because Suzy had revealed the truth, she was having to face many negative comments from others. But Maru was with her and was supporting her. He was complimenting her, saying she did a great job. Maru was asking Suzy if she wanted anything since he received his salary. Suzy was telling him everything she needed. Then Suzy was visiting her father's memorial and was apologizing to him for not being with him, saying she was too lost in love with someone else. Now it becomes clear that she is remembering many things now. That evening, Maru was buying everything Suzy asked for and was waiting at a spot for her. After a long wait, Suzy was coming and was behaving very normally, pretending like she didn't regain her memory. She was not letting Maru know that she remembered everything. When Suzy's memory was coming back, she first told her secretary, who was becoming very happy, but Suzy was instructing her not to tell anyone. At that point, Suzy was also discovering something shocking, that her father's death was not due to illness and something must have happened to him. She again visited his memorial and was apologizing for not being there. The next day, Suzy was sitting in her room, looking at an old notebook where she had written that Maru was the best man in the world. Seeing that, she became very angry. She stepped out and noticed Maru was making breakfast. Suzy continued to behave as if she didn't remember anything. She hugged him from behind, saying she saw a dream again in which many people were telling her how much they loved her and would always be by her side. But Maru said nothing. She said she cared the most about him and was hoping to hear those words from him. She said she kept looking at him, but he remained silent. She just wanted to hear him say he would always stay with her. Maru was replying that they should run far away, to a place where no one knew them, where they could live together. He asked if she would come with him. Suzy said yes, she would. Maru bought a wedding ring and was planning to keep it in Suzy's room so she would be surprised on seeing it. In her room, he found some torn pieces of paper where was written that Maru was the best man in the world. He realized Suzy had written that but had torn it up and thrown it away. From that, Maru understood that Suzy's memory had returned. When Suzy was at the office, Han came and showed her the wedding invitation card and informed her that their wedding was scheduled for 3 weeks later. Suzy was pretending to be happy. After he left, her secretary reminded her that now that her memory was back, she didn't need to go through with the wedding. Suzy was saying she wouldn't. She called Maru and asked if he saw their invitation card. She said it still felt like a dream and asked if it was real. Maru was thinking in his mind that Suzy was lying, and it meant she didn't trust him. Maru told himself she was too angry and would never forgive him. Next day, when Maru was about to leave for work, Suzy came to him and was talking about their marriage and was hugging him. She was behaving exactly how she did before, and Maru was also acting normal, not letting her know that he already understood she remembered everything. When Maru reached the office, he was completing all her work very efficiently. Suzy brought lunch for him and was about to enter his cabin when she overheard a conversation between Maru and Yuna. She did not like that. Han arrived there and she was going with him for lunch. While leaving, she also tells Han that she had regained her memory. Han becomes emotional and happy at the same time. Then the manager arrived and said he wanted to talk to her. Suzy was sitting in his office and he asked her why she wanted to marry Maru. Suzy replied that it was her personal decision. The manager said that this marriage wasn't just personal, since the company was involved too. He asked how much she knew about Maru. Suzy said if that was what he wanted to talk about, then she was leaving. The manager said that Maru had a criminal record and he had committed a murder. Suzy said she already knew. The manager asked if she knew who Maru had killed. Suzy said whether she knew that or not didn't matter. She already told everyone that she had memory loss, so she wasn't interested in knowing what happened in the past. She only wanted to become someone's wife and live a peaceful life. Then she mentioned that when her father died, the first people to see him were the manager and Yuna. She confirmed that, and the manager said that when they found him, he was already dead. Suzy said she had heard from many people that her father didn't die due to illness, but was murdered. She asked the manager if he had heard that rumor. The manager was shocked and said that it was nonsense and he never heard anything like that. Suzy said that although she heard it many times, she still couldn't believe it, and then she left. Weeks passed, and finally the day of Maru and Suzy's wedding arrived. All the guests were present, and Suzy, fully dressed, was sitting and waiting, but Maru still wasn't there. Suzy, Choco, and Sam kept trying to call him, but he wasn't picking up. Meanwhile, news spread rapidly on TV and the internet that Maru was having an affair with Yuna. Reporters arrived at the wedding venue and started questioning Yuna, which made her feel extremely uncomfortable. Since staying there was no longer appropriate, the manager took her away. Because of this news, most guests started leaving. Only Chairman Parsons stayed back, waiting for Suzy. The affair story about Maru and Yuna was actually leaked by Suzy herself, so that both of them would be publicly humiliated. After some time, Maru arrived and took Suzy away to talk to her privately. Maru told Suzy that he knew her memory was back and that he remembered what kind of person he really was. Suzy asked when he found out and why he didn't say anything. Maru replied that he stayed quiet because he wanted to play along with the game as long as Suzy wanted to. Suzy asked why he didn't come to the wedding. Maru told her that he didn't like the way she tried to take revenge that day because she was hurting herself in the process. He said there were many other ways to destroy him and Yuna, and he questioned why she needed to hurt herself. Suzy emotionally admitted that when she was crazy about him, her father died, and her mind wasn't working properly. She said she couldn't think of anything good. She asked why she shouldn't hurt herself to ruin them both, and said it didn't matter to her. She said everything Maru did for her was out of guilt, which was why he took care of her and kept her in his house. She told him that if he was scared, he should run away, because if he didn't, things would become very difficult for him. She told him she already said what she wanted to. Otherwise, he could call Han and ask him to take her away. A while later, Han arrived and was about to leave with Suzy. He asked where she wanted to go, and she told him to take her anywhere, but not Maru's house. Han then took her to a hotel. As he was about to leave, Suzy asked him to stay with her that night because she didn't want to be alone. She said she wasn't mentally okay and might harm herself, so he stayed with her. Suzy asked her secretary to collect her clothes from Maru's house, and Maru compiled because Suzy told him to. Later, Yuna asked Maru if he was the one who arranged all this, and Maru said yes, it was him. Yuna asked what he gained by telling people about their affair and what he really wanted. Maru told her that this was exactly what he wanted. Hearing this, Yuna was shocked. Maru explained that he did this so that she could finally feel at peace. Yuna asked if he didn't love Suzy and if everything he did wasn't for her. Maru said that whatever he did for Suzy was because of guilt. That's why he acted good around her to help her regain her memory. Meanwhile, Suzy had locked herself in the bathroom and wasn't opening the door. Han became extremely worried and tried to open the door. Inside, Suzy sat silently, overwhelmed. She told Han that she couldn't bring herself to hate Maru, even though she should. She said she was trying very hard, but she still couldn't hate him. She said that the bastard didn't even love her. He ruined her life. The only thing he felt was guilt. He still loved Yuna and only used her as a stupid girl who lost her memory. She said she thought exposing Maru and Yuna's affair would make her feel better and help her hate him, but it didn't. Instead, she missed him even more. At that time, Maru and Yuna were sitting together, drinking wine and talking. Yuna said she almost fell into his trap and almost believed that he genuinely wanted her back. She asked if everything he just said was a lie and said she wasn't going to fall for his tricks. She claimed she still knew him better than anyone else. She said he just wanted to use her and push her away to protect Suzy. She said he wanted to be a self-sacrificing hero for Suzy. Maru asked if she was trying to buy him. Yuna asked if he would stay with her if she said yes. Maru said yes, but only if she gave up everything and stayed away from Suzy. If she did that, he would stay with her forever. Then he asked if she would actually do that. Later, Maru returned home and got emotional seeing a photo of him and Suzy. He missed her deeply. The next day, Suzy returned to her house and decided to live there. Yuna came to visit her and said she was happy to see her back. Yuna revealed that Maru had leaked the affair story to the media because he wanted her back, since she was the one who had left him. Hearing this, Suzy, who was the real one behind the leak, became confused, wondering why Maru would lie and take the blame for it. When Maru came to the office, many people stared at him and gossiped about his alleged relationship with Yuna. Han noticed all of this and didn't like it. He invited Maru for a drink, and Maru agreed. While they were drinking beer together, Han asked why he wasn't asking anything about Suzy, how she was doing, whether she cried, whether she was struggling, or whether she already forgot him. Maru said there were many things he wanted to ask, but he wouldn't, because if Han said Suzy forgot him and was doing fine, that would hurt more than anything. And with that, Maru walked away. Later, when Maru came to the office, he received a call from an unknown number, which was actually made by Suzy. Maru asked who it was, but Suzy didn't say anything. From her silence, Maru understood that it was Suzy. Both of them wanted to ask each other many things, but neither of them said anything. Suzy had called just to hear his voice and then disconnected the call. That evening, Suzy was talking to someone on the phone about business when she noticed Maru bringing Yuna home. Seeing this shocked her deeply. Actually, Yuna had drunk a lot in the office, which was why Maru came to drop her home. He made her lie down in her room and then came to meet Suzy. Maru asked her if she would stay there, how she was, whether she was eating and sleeping properly, and if she was okay. He asked many questions, to which Suzy only responded with yes. Maru asked whether she had nothing else to say besides yes. When Suzy didn't say anything, Maru left. Suzy came after him to stop him, but didn't step outside. Maru stood outside her room, hoping that she might stop him, but when she didn't, he went away. The next day, Suzy met Han and told him that she was reinvestigating her father's death. She said there were some things that were very strange, and that some people believed it was a murder. The housemaid had informed her that Yuna and the manager were present that day at the exact time. She asked Han if he thought it was just a coincidence. Hearing all of this, Han was very shocked. When Suzy left, it became known that her father felt pain in his chest and became fine after taking medicine. Yuna and the manager were present there too, but they didn't let him call for help. Actually, Yuna wanted to help him, but the manager stopped her and didn't let her do anything. Suzy's father had died because of both of them. Han had the evidence, but didn't take legal action because the manager possessed proof of a crime committed by Han's father in the past. The manager used this to blackmail Han, which is why he stayed quiet and didn't do anything. But now, after hiding the truth for so long, he was exhausted and decided to visit Maru. He told him everything about how Suzy's father died and why he didn't take legal action despite having the evidence. He handed over all the evidence to Maru and said he would request the manager to surrender. If anything happened to him during this, Maru should give all the evidence to the police. Han didn't tell Suzy about it because she was already going through a very difficult time. Then Han went to the manager and said that he had stayed quiet for too long, but not anymore. He demanded that the manager surrender, otherwise he himself would give the evidence to the police. As for his own father, he said the manager could do whatever he wanted. If his father committed a crime, then even he should be punished. Han was now going against the manager, which is why the manager arranged an accident for him. Han didn't die but went into a coma. Maru figured out that this was the manager's doing and went to confront him. He told him that he knew about the accident and that Han had told him everything about Suzy's father's death. He said he had all the evidence now and warned him not to mistake him for someone who was scared. He added that he would soon hand over the evidence to the police and left. The next day, Maru met Yuna and lovingly tried to explain that she should surrender herself, but she didn't listen. That evening, when Sam came home, he saw Maru unconscious on the floor and immediately took him to the hospital. The doctors treated him, and his condition improved slightly. The doctors informed him that his brain condition wasn't stable and he would need surgery the next day. When Chaco heard this, she broke down. Chaco and Sam insisted, so Maru agreed to the surgery. When Susie found out that Maru was very sick, she became extremely worried and came to the hospital to see him. She met Sam there, who informed her that during their accident, Maru's brain was damaged. Even if he went through surgery, the chances of survival were very slim. He also told her that he had tried to convince Maru many times to get the surgery done, but Maru refused because he wanted to return Suezi's position to her because he loved her deeply. Susie wanted to go inside and meet Maru but didn't have the courage to face him, so she left and started walking on the streets. She was crying because she blamed herself for Maru's condition. When Maru found out from Sam that Susie had come to meet him but went back without seeing him, he rushed outside the hospital and searched for her everywhere. He finally found her and hugged her. He told her not to worry, that he would be fine, and that he had a lot to say, but would say it after the surgery. He asked her not to be anxious and go home. They would meet the next day. Susie replied that they would meet tomorrow and she too had many things to say, so he should take care of himself. Susie kissed him and left in a taxi. Maru had already given all the evidence to the police, which resulted in the manager and Yuna getting arrested and sentenced to 7 years in prison. From there, the story jumped 7 years ahead. Now, Maru's surgery was successful, but because of a complication, he lost his memory permanently. He moved far away to the mountains where no one knew him. Susie followed him and became his neighbor. She acted like she liked and loved him. One day, Maru realized this and began to like her too. Eventually, he proposed to her, and Susie was very happy. From there, a new chapter of their lives began. Both of them were very happy, and the drama ended there.